So we have show recommendations and then a couple of upcoming movies. So I figured maybe the best way we can do this is we can say a show recommendation you want to recommend, and if you have a movie you're excited about, also mention it in that time. So Manny, we can start with you. What is your show recommendation for this episode, and do you have any upcoming movies that you're excited about?
Oh man, upcoming show. Like I said, I haven't watched anything this week, honestly. Like as mentioned earlier at the beginning of the episode, it's just been a very busy week for me.
Right.
However, as soon as I stop recording right now, I'm gonna go upstairs and me and the wife we're gonna watch the movie that I spoke about last week, Willy's Wonderland with Nicolas Cage. You guys got to watch it, man. You guys got to watch it because
you definitely you mentioned that. And now when you said your wife and I were going to go upstairs and watch something with Willie, I was like, oh wow, what is going on here, Manny?
Oh no, man, that factory is closed.
Yeah, you're done. That's what the trailer's for. You're gonna go live in the trailer.
I have a 7-year-old and twin 2-year-old boys. That factory is closed.
No, there's no more hair in your head you could lose.
Yeah.
Willie, okay, so you give it. Please give next episode. Yeah, we got to talk about Willie. So you got to give us a report.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and give a report about Willy's Wonderland on next week's episode.
All right, Alex, let's toss it over to you, man. What you got?
The show I want to recommend is one that I recommended on Manny and Lo-Fi. It's called The Warrior on HBO Max. Was originally on Cinemax. They moved it over to HBO when they shut Cinemax down. It is based on the original idea that Bruce Lee had for the TV show that ultimately became Kung Fu. Chinese immigrant in the late 1800s comes to San Francisco, gets involved in the gang wars, the racism and other challenges that the Chinese immigrants experience there in coming to the States. But this dude that plays him, he's actually a Japanese actor raised in England who is an amazing martial artist. And so this is basically, martial arts, Kung Fu flick on steroids. Great acting, great fight scenes. It's 2 seasons, I think 10 episodes each season. Totally worth a watch. Really, really well done. Just as this guy navigates, the world that he's thrown into. And as I said, I mean, just amazing, amazing action scenes every single episode. Great story and very takes a lot of historical elements. So a lot of these things that happen within the show are not fictional. They're actually how the Chinese were treated, what happened to them, different laws that were passed to try to limit their abilities within the country. So I think it's very well done. Wow. That's a show I would recommend. So Warrior on HBO Max.
Yeah, man, that sounds great.
The film that I'm looking forward to is, and I really hope it's not a disappointment, man, but Coming to America.
Yeah,
it's Coming to America 2, or what is it? What is it that they're calling it?
Yeah, it's coming to America.
Coming to America. I've seen the trailer. They're coming back with a lot of the original characters. Randy Watson is going to be there. I'm so looking forward to this.
That was good.
I was actually reading a story the other day online that Eddie Murphy had gotten approached by, and I can't think of the director's name at the moment. His name escapes me. But he was going to do a sequel to it where it was going to focus on Akeem's son, Michael, played by Michael B. Jordan. So it wasn't going to focus on any of the old characters. It was going to be kind of a new story, if you will. Bad idea. I love the fact that they're bringing all these old characters back. I hope it's good. If it's half as good as the original, I'll be happy.
Yeah,
I'll be happy.
That boy good.
I believe he good.
Future. Thank you very much.
Where's the spoon? Man, I'm excited about that. I hope it doesn't suck.
I really do. I really hope it doesn't.
A show I'm going to recommend is it's not an old show. It's an old show, but you can still watch it. And I feel like if you're a Marvel fan, this might be a really good time for you to dive into something.
Awesome.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah. um, Gilmore Girls. Uh, I really like Agents of Shield. And the first few episodes are kind of slow and it's tough. But
Yeah.
I
once
couldn't
you
get into it after the first.
I think once you move past it, it
Yeah?
finds its groove. It has a nice groove, yeah, and you can easily watch it in the background. And it sucks that it just didn't. It's not going to get like fully like I guess engulfed into the MCU. I think Feige's like it's there, but
Yeah.
I think they're going to do different, like with Jessica Jones and with Daredevil. But with this, it's kind of good. But if you really love Marvel lore and you want to dive into it, there are some cool stuff in these episodes. They go into the Darkhold, which we're seeing in WandaVision, and they go into a few different topics that are pretty cool. And I feel like the show I'm going to recommend is also on Disney. I'm going to stick with the Marvel theme. It's The Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm actually really looking forward to the show. Or as I think the Nerdist calls it, the Falcon and Bucky show. I'm looking forward to it. I feel like this is more of like right up Captain America's alley. Guns, killing people, not a lot of story. Corny jokes, corny military jokes. Like the MCU is kind of missing this, where I think we're going to be very traumatized at the end of WandaVision, and I feel like we're going to need some like low. I'm not going to say low budget because this shit ain't low budget.
Right.
Some humor, some easy wins. So I feel like that's what I'm looking forward to that.
Okay. Yeah. Got to give it a shot. You got to give it a shot.
And mainly, like Manny said, he doesn't have a lot of time. I don't have a lot of time to watch too much TV. My kid dominates the TV when he's here. So, Alex, you don't have that problem.
No,
golf dominates your time more than TV, but you know how it is.
At the moment, yes. At the moment, yes, and that's a good. It
is a good thing. I think we'll have to have a Valley of the Nerds golf day.
Absolutely.
Us three, we go out there and we just have some fun. Maybe we can have like a fourth where it'll be like a person from another nerdy show or a nerdy an actor. Would be great. But
we could have Rose from our beer Cicerone.
Yeah, the Cicerone.
She could introduce us to a new beer at each hole, right?
God.
So through the course of those 4 hours, she'll have, hey, try this new beer.
If we
give our review,
if they're Michelob, by a whole 7
shotgun of beer.
Yeah, by a whole.
Well, listen. It'll be a tasting. It'll be a tasting more than anything. I mean, think about it. By the time we get to 18,
more like if we all share a beer. That's different. Yeah. If we're all.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, we'd have to do. Yeah.
Split it 4 ways. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm thinking by whole 7, we're like, they taste great, man. Just like done on the green. I think it's going to do it for us. Unless you guys want to hear us banter for another 4 more minutes. Manny, where can people find us? I know we talked about in the beginning, but tell people where they can find us. They're listening this deep. They're believers.
Well, the main source, the main well that you can go to is valleyofthenerds.com, and right there you'll be able to find information on where we can be found on any corner of social media aside from like WhatsApp. We don't do that. But we are anywhere on Instagram, Valley of the Nerds. We are on Twitter, Valley Nerds. We are on Facebook, Valley of the Nerds. As far as being able to listen to our show, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more. And if you happen to be on Apple Podcasts, be sure to give us a little bit of a rating there, as well as a nice review, because that's going to help us, our algorithm, tremendously.
It will. And I do want to add that we host our podcast on Anchor, and Anchor gives you the ability to leave us voice messages. So if you want to leave us a voice message, and if you subscribe on Spotify or Apple, there's a link in the description that you can click that allows you to leave a voice message, even if you're not listening on Anchor. So I highly recommend you doing that. If it's a solid message, we'll play it on the show. If it's funny, we'll probably just chat about it in our iMessage chat. But if it's good, you'll get some time. So I definitely want to give, Manny mentioned it after last episode, and so I didn't want to leave today's show without mentioning it.
All right, yeah, definitely. I think can you find that link on the website as well?
I think so, but if not, I'll throw it on there after the episode. So we'll make sure by the time this episode is, by the time people are actually listening to it, that it's already ready to rock and roll.
All right, sounds good. All right, gentlemen. Well, it's always a pleasure recording with you fellas. My name is Manny,
My name is Brandon.
My name is Alex.
and we are the Valley of the
Nerds. Noids.
Finally. All right, fellas. Till next time.